Akron coming in as the #1 seed, 26-7 overall, 13-5 in the conference. It's their 8th MAC championship game appearance in the last 10 years. They've won 3 titles during that time. That is the coach for the Zips, Coach Keith Dambrot. The coach for the Buffalo Bulls is none other than Nate Oates. As we listen in.
You guys have been working since the summer for this one opportunity, all right? Like, it's here tonight. Like, we put in thousands of hours. Here's what we got to do. For 40 minutes, we got to get everybody, every single one of you on this team to give max effort on the defensive end. That's every loose ball. That's every charge you can take. That's every long rebound. That's in a stance. You're talking for the entire possession. If we get max effort on the defensive end for 40 minutes tonight, we are right back in the big dance 2 hours from now, which is why you all came here to begin with anyway. So, look, let's go 40 minutes as hard as we can.
No shortage of passion for either side. Hello, folks. Mike Morgan alongside former Army standout Chris Spatola. The MAC is having one of its finest seasons in many years, but really when you talk about this season, Chris, we've got a chance at one of the best games out there. It's still a one-bid league. You win and you're in, you lose and you go home.
There are a lot of styles that lead to winning basketball, and tonight is a perfect example of that. Different offensive attacks, different tempo from both these teams, but the common theme, Mike, is they're both playing here in this MAC championship.
57th meeting between these two schools. Never has there been a bigger one than this one tonight. Just do Hallmark locator tip, right? Champ Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods, and this is the 2016 MAC Tournament presented by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. We welcome you inside the Q Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. The MAC championship game featuring the #1 seed, the Akron Zips, and the #3 seed, the Buffalo Bulls. The Akron Zips led by Keith Dambrot. What a job he has done. 8 championship game appearances in the last 10 years. What a job by Nate Oates of Buffalo in his first year getting them this far. We had a chance to catch up and listen in on Coach Oates just a moment ago.
Listen, you guys have been working since the summer for this one opportunity, all right? Like, it's here tonight. Like, we put in thousands of hours. Here's what we got to do. For 40 minutes, we got to get everybody, every single one of you on this team to give max effort on the defensive end. That's every loose ball. That's every charge you can take. That's every long rebound. That's in a stance. You're talking for the entire possession. If we get max effort on the defensive end for 40 minutes tonight, we are right back in the big dance 2 hours from now, which is why you all came here to begin with anyway. So, look, let's go 40 minutes as hard as we can.
No lack of passion in either one of the locker rooms tonight. Hello, everybody. Mike Morgan alongside former Army standout Chris Spatola. Great to be with you. A tremendous year for the MAC this season. With that being said, it is still a one-bid league, Chris. So bottom line is, you win, you get in. You lose, you go home.
Well, there are a lot of different styles that lead to winning. Tonight is a perfect example of that. Both these teams go about it in different ways. Offensive attacks, tempo, but the one common theme, Mike, is they're both playing for a championship here tonight.
That is the #1 thing at stake, of course. For Buffalo, a chance to go back-to-back. That hasn't been done in this conference since Kent State 2001-2002. For Akron, a chance to continue that legacy that Keith Dambrot has already developed in a short amount of time in his 12 seasons. Both teams won in convincing fashion in the semifinals, double-digit victories, both playing tremendous basketball. That's what you want here on center stage as these two teams play for a trip to the NCAA tournament. Quad Cheatham will jump center for the Zips against Ikena Smart. And it'll be Zips basketball first. We're underway from Cleveland.
Defending that three-point line, Mike. Akron, 5th in the country in how they shoot that three ball. If you're Buffalo tonight, they're going to want to contest. You can't leave shooters on that perimeter. And then you got to be able to guard them one-on-one inside.
Second most three-point makes in the country. That's the stat line of the Akron Zips. They average about a dozen makes a game. Cheatham thought about it, now will launch a three. And it caroms off short. The rebound into the hands of Lamonte Bearden, who has been sensational so far in this tournament.
Well, Buffalo, one of the fastest teams in the country. They are the fastest team in the MAC.
Jackson takes it into traffic, had it rejected. Smart on the block. Buffalo attacking. Smart can't get it to drop, but gets his own rebound. And out of bounds, it will be Akron basketball.
Tempo's big. I mean, again, Buffalo, one of the fastest teams in the country, and Akron, conversely, they are 276th in the country in terms of time of possession. So they will be deliberate. They're going to space 4 perimeter shooters out there. And then we'll see Isaiah Johnson here in a little bit. First team All-MAC interior player for Akron. Right now it's Quan Cheatham.
Robotham, a silky smooth point guard, gets this ball screen. Rise and fire shot off the mark. And a loose basketball picked up by Buffalo. Here come the Bulls. Bearden behind the back. Lean-in shot. Too strong. And tracked down by Akron's Aaron Jackson, who takes it all the way and draws a block foul. Akron is led by Keith Dambrot, who did coach LeBron James in high school, but that doesn't tell the story of just how good a coach this guy is and what a good job he has done with the Zips program that did not have a lot of tradition and history coming in. And in 12 years, he has made them a mainstay in this championship game. A win tonight would give him 4 MAC titles in 8 years.
That's unbelievable. I mean, in 8 championship games in 10 years is remarkable when you put it into the context of where this program was when he took over. He's a local guy. He bleeds Akron Zips through and through. Perfect guy for this job, and obviously a guy who could really coach.
Jackson, the sophomore, knocks down the second. We're tied. Around the horn, over the wing, it's Hamilton. Hamilton, one of 3 JUCO transfers that play significant minutes for Buffalo, but he coughed it up there. Robotham picks up the loose change. Jackson for 3. And out of bounds to Akron.
There's a nice block out underneath by Jaron Skeet. You know, those threes, and we're going to see a lot of them from Akron, they lead to long rebounds. You've got to put a body, though, on Cheatham. And then when Isaiah Johnson comes in off that Akron bench, you've got to put a body on those big guys.
Cheatham probes the right side and draws a foul from behind. And McKenna Smart. Smart, a 6'10", 235-pound redshirt freshman out of Greensboro, North Carolina.
He's only been playing basketball for 4 years, has Smart. Really raw, but you see the physical gifts.
McAdams on a tray. That is their top three-point demon. He's hit 241 in his career. In the corner.
The same spacing for Buffalo, too. Again, I mean, just keep an eye on it. And that's what creates those driving opportunities, is the excellent spacing. They move the ball from side to side, and it leads to shots like that from Jaron Skeet.
Skeet, the only 4-year member of this Buffalo Bulls squad. He was a key part of that team that won the MAC championship last year under Bobby Hurley. Akron 0 of 5 from the field.
The spacing is so hard to guard. And as a player, Mike, there's nothing more difficult than having to guard that spacing. I mean, Antoine Jackson, that ball moves from side to side. You've got to stay home on those shooters.
Baseline drive and a strong finish off his pogo stick. That is Willie Connor. What an addition he has been a junior from Chicago.
And he's been huge in this tournament. 47 points in 2 games that they've played. He's got the James Harden beard going.
Jackson with the shot clock at 7. Drives, lost it, and then threw it away into the hands of Hamilton. Hamilton might have been ill-advised. And then Hamilton gets the steal and saves it, and then great hustle on the other end. Helter-skelter action finally scooped up by Hamilton. Inside, Hamilton draws the foul. 15:45 to play. Buffalo leading it 7-5.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. Go visit MyrtleBeach.com to plan your vacation today. New Gillette Pro Shield with lubrication before and after the blades. Shields while you shave. And Infinity, luxury cars that deliver inspired performance.
Well, you won't find a whole lot of sand in Cleveland, Ohio, near Lake Erie, but at Myrtle Beach, you'll see sites like that. Check out VisitMyrtleBeach.com. They brought the sand, actually. Tons of it. Right outside here, the Q, Quicken Loans Arena. Kind of has that Myrtle Beach feel. Just need to break out the golf clubs, play 36, call it a weekend. What do you say, Chris?
I think that they're testing my will to stay here right now with you. If you weren't such a good guy, I'd be out there making a little sandcastle outside the arena.
And I would not rule that happening. You know, we're going to be here for a few more hours. So you folks, if you see a good sculpture outside the arena, you know who will be the architect of that. Buffalo right now, the architect of a 2-point lead. The Buffalo Bulls last year won their first MAC championship under head coach Bobby Hurley. Of course, he is now at Arizona State. They lost a lot of players. Obviously, they lost their coach, and the expectations were not as high. And here they sit now with a chance to go back-to-back. I think that's just a tremendous credit to what Nate Oates has done.
Well, it is. With the team that Bobby Hurley left to go to Arizona State, I actually thought his team would have been better this year than the team he had at Arizona State. Now, they had a lot of stuff go on in the offseason. They lost the MAC Player of the Year in Justin Moss. Shannon Evans went with Hurley to Arizona State. But there is still a lot of talent left over. And they did have an infusion of some junior college guys.
This is Josh Williams. Had it knocked away, picks it up, got to do something with it. Shot clock down to 8. McAdams pivots, fades, and fires. It's not his shot.
Well, and Isaiah Johnson is in the game now for Akron. You think they get him a touch on that first possession. Johnson camped down there on the block. They didn't throw it to him.
Johnson is 23 and white. You can't miss him. They list him at 280. Realistically, he's about 310. 6 on the shot clock. Bearden swings it left corner. Connor wide open 3. Got it. That's what they have done in this tournament.
Well, they're unselfish. There's an extra pass. You know, Willie Connor is saying to Lamont Bearden, one more on the reversal. And he got that one more and buried it.
Johnson backing in. Lost his footing. Somehow kicks it in the corner. The 3 rattles that. Tapped up by McAdams. And then Johnson is there to pay it off.
And that's what he does. You've got to keep him off the glass, and it's probably going to take more than one guy. Because you better bring a pork chop with Johnson underneath, because that's a lot of meat. But he's done a lot of damage this year, and certainly in this tournament.
He was the MAC's 6th man of the year. Does not start, but plays significant minutes, and very often the leading scorer on the team.
Well, one of the things the Buffalo staff said about Johnson is he never gives up on a play. You think of that size, a kid would take breaks, and he doesn't. He goes after every rebound.
Got one there. Out of the hands of Robotham. The team's still kind of feeling each other out. There's a deep 3 on the way and missed by Jay Kretzer. Had a big game last night.
But this is the pace if you're Buffalo. You want to push, try to probe early, Can't turn it over, though.
Another steal by Robotham, and he is fouled by Hamilton.
This is when you know a team is good, Mike, when they're sharing the basketball. Look at the ball reversal, the extra pass on the closeout, and then you got what all shooters need, space and time, and then look at the big fella. Watch him get up. He goes after every rebound. He never takes a play off. And at that size, you wouldn't expect it, but he will outwork you.
The last foul was on Hamilton, so he'll take a seat. I love what Isaiah Johnson said yesterday in the press conference. Somebody asked him, just how much exactly do you weigh? He just laughed and smiled and said, no comment. Johnson using that 300-plus pounds there to bully his way inside. And then a travel. That's going to be on Massenberg. Fourth turnover on the Buffalo Bulls. Johnson taps it. Loose basketball scooped up by Kretzer. Cheatham trying to find an open man. Buffalo is everywhere on defense. Suffocating, and now a turnover. Kretzer coughed it up, off to the races, and finishing strong with a two-handed stuff is C.J. Massenberg. Quick three on the other end by Cheatham. No. Johnson battled but can't haul it in. Give Nick Perkins credit for tearing away the rebound. Good-looking freshman for Buffalo. Drive and kick sets up the open three. Too strong, but an offensive rebound for the Bulls.
Man, is he good with the ball.
Bearded.
He is
Awfully
so
slick.
tough.
A foul called with 11:57 to play in the first half. Coming up, there seems to be a trend during Champ Week. Come back and find out being number one has been no fun.
The Green Bay Phoenix take out the Valparaiso Crusaders.
Monmouth will have to sweat it out on Selection Sunday. Let's go dancing, baby. Start the party in Spokane. Chapman placed the three. It's good. Michigan wins.
Normally the one thing you can predict about Champ Week is the unpredictable, but this is ridiculous. 3 #1 seeds have won their conference tournament: Chattanooga, Stony Brook, and Hampton. Everybody else, including Villanova most recently, has been knocked off in their conference tournament. So we've got pure chaos right now, Chris.
Yeah, well, those 4 teams at the bottom are going to be sweating. I think Monmouth deserves to be in. I think Wichita State, based on the team they put out there on the floor, deserves to be in. I just don't see St. Mary's and Valpo getting into that NCAA tournament. And it's interesting, Mike, because we talk about the parity in the high major conferences and the parity that exists. There's never been more parity than there is in these mid-major conferences. And Keith Dambrot was talking about it to us last night. I mean, take the MAC. There are the haves and the have-nots in a lot of other conferences, not in this conference.
Yeah, I love that analogy because he's absolutely right. Most conferences do have some teams that are at a pure disadvantage, facility-wise, budget-wise, history-wise. Not true in the MAC conference. That's what makes Akron's run so impressive. Speaking of running, that's what Williams does, but has it blocked, and a great save there by Massenberg.
Games like this are about buying possessions, stealing possessions, turnovers, and plays like that last one down on the other end lead to points.
Massenberg, who was named a member of the MAC all-freshman team, and now the Bulls are enjoying a 12-2 run.
I mean, teams like, you get to this point in a conference championship, Mike, both these teams are so close that margin for error can increase if you can force turnovers, offensive rebounds, or hustle plays.
Cheatham with a response set up by the double team drawn by Isaiah Johnson. They shoot 39% as a team, so they don't just shoot in volume, awfully efficient as well. That's going to be a travel on Wigginton.
And this is what I'm talking about, Mike. C.J. Massenberg makes a play here. It's just a winning play in a game like this. You get the block, you make the save, and then he's the guy on the other end who knocks it down. That's the kind of stuff in a championship where you go back, you look at the tape and say, that's a winning play. That won us a championship. And here we are in the first half.
Trying to lob it into Johnson, but good defense. And it will be Buffalo basketball. There are only a few more automatic bids up for grabs as a crazy champ week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods caps off on ESPN tomorrow with 2 more championship games at 1 Eastern time. It's the SEC championship game, then at 3:15 the AAC championship game. Texas A&M and Kentucky going to do battle in that Southeastern Conference championship game. Out of bounds, it will be Buffalo basketball.
It's not a surprise either, Mike. 3 games in 3 days for both these teams. They both go 9 deep, so they do have depth. And Buffalo, even more so, has interchangeable parts. You can play a lot of different guys at different positions. Helps in these kind of tournament formats.
Shot clock at 7. Rise and fire 3 is knocked down by Massenberg. What a first half. He has 8.
And only a freshman.
Cheatham trying to respond. Can't do it. Akron 2 of 10 from downtown. Buffalo 4 of 7. They've been draining threes at about a 50% clip in this tournament. Massenberg is hacked on the pull-up jumper by Antono Jackson.
Like 52% of Akron's offense, and here you see the 3 from the possession earlier from Massenberg. Man, is he playing with confidence. And on the other end, you mentioned Akron 2 of 10. 52% of their shots in conference are 3-point field goals. That's 48% of their offense. The problem is, in these first 2 tournament games, they've won them, but they've been close because they're only shooting 31%. And they are a team that's very much tied to making shots. So they come in against a team like Buffalo, who's going to be able to score as well. They've got to see some of those threes go down.
Big factor for Akron this year. They lost Pat Forsythe, their starting center, a 6'11" post player. And that really forced Coach Dan Brown and company to kind of change the strategy. And then you have Buffalo, who all year long was not a very good 3-point shooting team. And they've been on fire from start to finish here in Cleveland. Massenberg has 10 points. Beautiful backdoor cut and the feed from Johnson.
Defenders fall asleep because they get locked in on watching Isaiah Johnson operate. He's so dominant that Ivy just snuck in behind the defense.
A line drive shot that somehow got over the rim for Nick Perkins.
Perkins, a lefty, reminds me a lot of Zach Randolph. He's got that kind of a game. Also, only a freshman. Had 3 threes last night for them. So a guy who can face up as well.
Isaiah Johnson, that's just too much bulk for the freshman to cover. And then a turnover, Robotham. I've got him down for 3 steals now. Jackson spot and fire, yes!
They are so good as Akron, turning threes off of O boards or turnovers, because those unsettled situations are very hard to contest the shots. They're so good off of offensive rebounds and those turnovers, taking and making threes.
Strong take and a beautiful finish by Connor.
It's amazing the different styles. You see Akron a 3 on one end, and then what Buffalo does best, just taking you off the bounce.
Robotham's 3 kicks high off the iron. And the rebound into the hands of Massenberg. One of the rare times Buffalo will set it up in the half court. Beautiful ball movement into the hands of Connor. Slashing. And an offensive foul. Cheatham drew it.
Isaiah Johnson, the big fella in the middle. He's got a little touch to his game there. And he's got a little power to his game as well. Both these teams trying to advance and dance.
Chris and Dan, thank you so much. Been that kind of week. Coming up on Selection Sunday at 5 Eastern on ESPN, we'll try to clear all this out, reveal the NCAA men's field of 68. Reese, J. Will, J. Bill, and Seth anchor the coverage with analysis from Dick Vitale and Joe Lenardi. Then at 7, Bracketology, presented by Staples, continues coverage for 2 more hours with more breakdowns. There's going to be a lot of work to do on those bubble teams this year as Johnson creates space and finishes.
Well, he doesn't just create space. I mean, it's the shooters create the space, right? Because you got to stay home. So there's nobody on that weak side. Nice pass over the top.
Bearden finds the hot hand. Massenberg already has 10. That will not count. Hit the shot clock. And that is out of bounds.
The impact of Isaiah Johnson. I mean, you cannot, there's nobody behind because you have to stay home on the shooters. The nice pass, and you see the difference he makes. I mean, just look at that right there. When he touches the ball, and it's not just him putting it in a basket. He's a willing passer from in there. Creates so much offense. That's why you love when they start every possession with him at least getting a touch.
Look at the big man putting it on the floor, driving and finishing.
Takes a lot to get that engine going, but once it does, it is tough to stop.
Some diesel fuel in that engine. Bearden putting on a little dribbling display. Connor Trey happy, missed it. Follow-up tap, no good. Second one, no good. And finally cleared by Robotham. Zips on the attack. Robotham on a pull-up jumper, rims off. Tapped out of bounds, and it will be Buffalo basketball. You talked about Isaiah Johnson, Chris. What makes him so unique? We see big guys like this a lot. A lot of them, though, can't move with that weight.
Well, he's got terrific footwork. I mean, his footwork is outstanding, especially for a man his size. And he has great hands. So you combine those things. Again, he's a willing passer. And because he draws so much attention, those other guys on his team have become comfortable spacing, cutting, moving without the basketball. He's got a high IQ. Just a terrific force for them. And you see, they are a much different team when he's out there.
Strong take. Johnson might have gotten a piece of that. He definitely altered it.
And what a personality he has. I mean, at the press conference last night, he's making jokes, he's laughing. Great personality on the big fella, and obviously big-time game.
Keels the dribble, trying to find a teammate. There's Jackson to help him out. Shot clock down to 8 for McAdams on a tray. Rims off. Bearden. Last night, Bearden put on a show. I mean, it was a shake and bake, slice and dice special all night long against Ohio. Jackson picks up the long rebound. A lot of people thought we were going to have an Akron-Ohio matchup. Those were the top 2 seeds. Buffalo had other ideas. Robotham takes it in the trees and finishes off the window.
Well, we have some outstanding guards in this game. I mean, Bearden is certainly that guy for Buffalo, and then Antono Jackson and Noah Robotham, the two-headed monster at the guard position for Akron.
Bearden, tough shot, but somehow gets it back. Kick out. Follow. And a foul called. That'll be against Akron. I believe they got Kretzer.
Buffalo's the best rebounding team in the MAC, and there were 2 things that Keith Dambrot said coming into this game. We've got to get back on defense. Our transition defense is key, and then we must rebound the basketball.
Buffalo has missed its last 6 shots. They've had a couple of flurries of threes in the last 2 games so far from behind the arc. The Bulls are 4 of 10. Bearden probing, firing. And Williams will grab the rebound. Johnson to Robotham. And a reset with 12 to shoot. McAdams, pull-up jumper. He is just off right now. And Buffalo with numbers the other way. Open three, Massenberg, yes! What a first half for C.J. Massenberg, the freshman who has 13.
And that's how quickly Buffalo can turn their defense into offense. Part of it is for these shooters for Akron, Buffalo, making them put the ball on the floor, making them be dribblers, not allowing them to just catch and shoot. And look at that. I mean, how do you move that body in traffic? That's the other thing. I mean, he's faced doubles, he's faced late doubles, he's patient, and he's so good in traffic.
Timeout called by Coach Oates and Buffalo. 4-point game, MAC championship game in Cleveland.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, proud to employ and support hundreds of Team USA contenders.
And the season is over right now. Buffalo trying to win with the three-point shot.
Well, Buffalo does enough damage off the bounce. You allow them to see open looks like that. And that's how it got started, Mike. And then once you feel it, once you get in rhythm, then you might start to make tough shots. And these last few here, you see in transition, they are hunting that line. And the percentages from the regular season to now, a stark difference.
That defies logic, because I'm a big believer this time of the year you are what you are. If you haven't shot the three through 30 some odd games, you're not going to start shooting them well in this kind of environment, but they have, bottom line.
I think part of it is teams are so worried about how good Buffalo is driving that ball to the basket that you give them more space. And that was another wide open attempt there from Bearden.
Johnson still in the game for Akron on a high post here. Johnson gets the lob, can't corral it, and he's angry at Williams, saying you got to give me a better feed.
And it's not hard. I mean, that's an easy post. I love to throw post passes to a guy like that. Just got to get a better angle, take it over to the wing, and just drop it into him. You know, back to Buffalo, Mike, their penetration, it puts you in rotation. It gets you playing chase, and that's what leads, if you keep moving the ball, which Buffalo does, they're unselfish, it leads to those open threes.
Shot clock under 10 for the Bulls. Hamilton takes it all the way, rejected by Cheatham. Jackson, crossover. Finds Williams on a three. Got it.
They can fill it up quickly, and you can't have your hands down in transition.
Couple of shots at it, and finally Jackson reels it in to Williams. Too strong.
You've got to close out on shooters quickly because they will shoot them early and often.
A one-point game with 90 seconds remaining in the first half. How about this? Buffalo has missed 12 of its last 13. Well, that streak is stopped on a running bank shot by who else? C.J. Massenberg with 15 now.
He has come up huge as the freshman. I always say you're anonymous until you play big in a big game, and C.J. Massenberg making a name for himself in this first half.
Johnson backing in on Smart. Beautiful feed and a slam by Cheatham.
That's all you got to do. You just got to keep moving because the defense stops and watches Isaiah Johnson operate. Cheatham sneaks in behind. That's the second time we've seen that happen.
A foul on the drive stops the crowd, which was getting into it.
Quan Cheatham's defenders just watching. Look, Hamilton just watching. And then Cheatham on the spot moves in behind. Look at that. I mean, Hamilton has no clue where Cheatham is. And that's what Johnson does. He's patient. He lulls you in with the crab dribble and then finds his teammate. You just got to keep moving.
He had 10 eyeballs on number 23 in white. And he took advantage. Little dissection.
Well, this building is used to LeBron James doing that on the perimeter, right? You isolate him on the wing, everybody stops to watch the show. In this case, everybody's stopping to watch Isaiah Johnson. What's he going to do?
LeBron James on the road right now with his Cavs, but he's a guy that, of course, played for Keith Dambrot, the head coach of Akron, and a guy who gets behind the Akron program. Not uncommon for him to show up to a few of these games if he was in town. Robotham with the shot clock down to 10. This is Johnson going to work. Kick out and a three for Robotham. And a rebound of Buffalo. They can play for the last shot, but they cough it up. Robotham on a steal. Robotham weaving. Williams firing. Yes. Tied up. And another steal for Robotham. What a first half for that young man. And only fitting that we're tied at the half, 33-all.
Well, Isaiah Johnson, a key in that half. They got to get him that ball in the second, Mike.
Johnson played big. Akron closing out well, 33-all as we head to the studio for our Volkswagen halftime report. You're watching Champ Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. And this is the 2016 MAC Tournament presented by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. Buffalo led for most of the first half. We finished it tied at 33 as we get ready for the second half. Mike working alongside former Army standout Chris Spatola. Chris, really, at the beginning of this game, Buffalo had what it wanted. They were hitting open threes, much as they have done this entire tournament. And then what turned the game, Isaiah Johnson into paint.
It did. I mean, the impact was multifaceted. I mean, there's the obvious impact, the putting the ball in the basket, and he's outstanding at that. You see the power, you see the pass over the top to him with no weak side defense. But here's the spacing and the vision that he has and that they create. Watch these Buffalo defenders as they all stop to watch. You got the defender on the ball. You got the help side here, help side here. They're all stopping to watch what Isaiah Johnson's going to do. And then Quan Cheatham just cuts right down the middle behind the defense. And then Johnson, a willing passer. So it's not just him putting the ball in the basket. It's also him creating those shots for others. What an impact he had in that first half.
A lot of numbers there. One number you don't see is 16 points in the paint for Akron. Of course, most of those for Isaiah Johnson. The three-point shot, big for Buffalo throughout this tournament. Big for Akron throughout the season. What's encouraging if you're a Zips fan, they did not shoot the basketball well from outside, and yet they're still tied, looking for their first lead of the night.
And they've beaten Buffalo twice this year already, and in those two games had 25 threes. So they've been able to do it, tie this game at the half without shooting the ball real well. And of course, Isaiah Johnson does not start for Akron, so he starts this second half on the bench. Will be interesting to see how long Keith Dambrot goes without Johnson in the game.
And can Buffalo take advantage?
And they did in the first half, right? He didn't start. Buffalo jumped out early. Well, we always talk about the first 5 minutes of each half becomes critical for Buffalo to take advantage with Johnson on that bench.
Hamilton rips down the rebound. Finds Connor. The story for Buffalo in the first half was C.J. Massenberg off the bench. She had 15. Gliding layup high off the window and in. Nice shot there by Jaron Skeet, who was rather quiet in that first half.
He was. He's had an up and down year for them, but he's the one guy on their team who's been in this league for 4 years. He's capable of hitting big shots.
Jackson skies for the rebound. Jackson nearly got away with a walk. And the rebound hauled in by Hamilton. They dared him to shoot it. Hamilton did. And then an offensive rebound and a jump ball, the arrow favoring the Zips.
How about Noah Robotham? I mean, that's another play, Mike. We talked about it in the first half, where in a championship game, where the separation between these two teams is not a lot, you steal a possession. Robotham just sticks his nose in there, ties up the ball, and it's your possession.
He's not going to score a ton of points, but he had 4 steals in that first half. Skips it into the corner to Cheatham. Lost it. Jackson picked it up and finger rolls it home.
Talk about being in the right place at the right time if you're Jackson. Almost a giveaway there by Cheatham. Jackson scoops it up.
Wild shot, offensive rebound, and the hook shot dropped in by Smart.
Tell you, he's got a great body, does Smart. He's only been playing this game for 4 years, so he's incredibly raw on the offensive end. But if he can add that jump hook to his game, he's been gifted. He's been really gifted with those biceps, to be honest with you.
Buffalo loves to push the tempo. They haven't been able to do much of it since early in this game. Around the screen from Cheatham. Back on the pick and pop, and Cheatham rims it off front iron. Hamilton takes it strong. No. Robotham tracks it down. Cheatham stops and pops.
Well, again, the offense there stalling. You're coming up empty. And Isaiah Johnson over there at the scorer's table ready to check in. So Keith Dambrot not waiting all that long to get his big fella back into this game. Really the offensive linchpin for Akron.
There's a big 3 by Hamilton. That'll put it into the cold front for Buffalo.
Hamilton, of course, the cousin of Daniel Hamilton, who's at UConn. Jordan Hamilton, who played at Texas. Isaac Hamilton, who's at UCLA. So the bloodlines of the Hamilton family run deep.
Tough shot for Jackson. Top floor for the rebound for Hamilton. Connor skips it in the corner. Cheatham boards it for the Zips. Jackson spot and fire. Cheatham can't get it to go.
Cheatham's had some bunnies. That's 2 missed layups. Got to move on, though. He's shaking his head, frustrated.
And there's an and 1 for Bearden. 7-point cushion for Buffalo, trying to go back-to-back in the MAC.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods, proud to employ and support hundreds of Team USA contenders. And the Lexus Command Performance Sales Event, now through March 31st. See your Lexus dealer.
Not a bad transition when you can go from snow to sand outside the queue as we talk about the paths for both of these teams to the championship game.
Well, I'm crossing them out as we go. That was Akron's path to beat Eastern Michigan and Bowling Green, and then Buffalo here beat Miami and then beat Ohio. So you got the 1 seed and the 3 seed in this MAC championship. I brought my pail and shovel. They wouldn't let me play with it out there. They said I was creepy trying to do that out in their sandbox. So we're playing with it digitally here, Michael. I want to thank our producer, Ann Gruker, for allowing me to indulge myself. Of course, my pail and shovel come in no use.
Not the first time you've been labeled creepy, but I admire your persistence. We kid because we care. Buffalo is up 8. Akron has not led, and you brought up a good point over the break, and that is, why would you not start Isaiah Johnson in the second half?
Yeah, well, look, he didn't start him at the beginning of the game, and they essentially spotted Buffalo 10-point lead. And then here to start the second half, they spot him a 7-point lead.
Connor, offensive foul. Robotham Megan Williams, rather, was outside the restricted arc.
I mean, this is just a tough, tough play. I think he's there. I like the call. And that's courage right there from Josh Williams, with Connor bearing down on him. But, Mike, back to the point. I mean, like in a game like this, I get that you haven't started Isaiah Johnson for a lot of the year, and you're not going to change that. But you dig a hole to start these halves.
And he by far and away had the best first half for Akron. 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. They go to the big man here. Finds Jackson up top, spinning and losing the basketball. Here comes Buffalo. They love to run, and they know how to finish. And that time, no, another. Yes, that time an and one.
Yeah, they called a block on that one. Same guy, Josh Williams, stepping in, trying to, like Doublemint gum, get another one. And I like that call. That is a block. Nice job by Hamilton, sneaking off to the side there. The and one gets himself to the line.
You know, you and I were watching Buffalo take on Ohio. Ohio was the favorite last night, the #2 seed. And I think the thing that snuck up on both of us is the athleticism of this Buffalo squad.
Yeah, I mean, and they were athletes that were made to recover in a tournament where it's 3 games in 3 days. These Buffalo guys look like they could go all day, every day. And the depth helps, obviously.
It's an 11-0 run for Buffalo, and a steal here. And a quick foul by Johnson. And right now, Buffalo is marinating in momentum.
They got Johnson operating out on the perimeter. And, you know, look, sometimes we complicate things. Put him down on the block, throw it to him, and allow him to go to work. Force the defense to have to adjust to Johnson.
Bearden, young man out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, behind the back to Hamilton. Weeding a little clock here. Massenburg had the hot hand in the first half, and he continues in the second.
If you're a Buffalo fan, you're looking at the future. And his name is C.J. Massenburg.
Massenburg out of Dallas, Texas, a good-looking freshman. Johnson calling for it. He's got it. Backing in, draws a double. Finds an open shooter, and there's the response. And a big bucket for the Zips. Josh Williams buries the triple.
Another freshman. I mean, how about the freshman in this game? Williams there, but C.J. Massenburg, you are anonymous until you come up big in a big game. C.J. Massenburg has been huge.
The buzzer, McCord on its way. Let's see if he got her off in time. No! West Virginia's turn to go to the crowd.
Oh, it's what we love this time of year. Fantastic finishes in college basketball. We had another one here this afternoon in Cleveland, tied in overtime. Buffalo's Stephanie Reed banking in a floater at the buzzer. Watch the shot here by Stephanie Reed. And Buffalo, who had never won a Women's MAC championship, the 8th-seeded Bulls, a triumph over Central Michigan, 73-71, their first trip to the NCAA tournament. And yeah, she's got plenty to celebrate. What a year it's been for the Buffalo Bulls basketball programs, and trying to pull off the double-double here as the men's team tries to go back-to-back. The first time that a team in the MAC has done that since Kent State 2001-2002. You might recognize one of the names on those teams. One, Antonio Gates, the Pro Bowl tight end for the San Diego Chargers. Some great players have come out of this conference over the years. Ron Harper, Wally Zerbiak, Gary Trent, Bonzi Wells, not to mention Chris Kaman now in the NBA. Shot clock at 8. Drive and kick. Desperation 3. And a rebound tracked down by McAdams. It was almost as if nobody wanted it. This would be a key point in the game to start getting some big shots, and that's a huge one for Jake Kretzer.
Well, you got your two seniors out there, Kretzer and McAdams. Both guys can light it up. And this Akron team, as we know, Mike, with the way they shoot the ball, they're not out of any game. Can score in bunches.
Second most three-pointers per game in the country. They average about a dozen a game. Drive right into the teeth of that defense with Johnson. Squirts out. Shot clock did not reset. And an offensive rebound. Picked up by Hamilton.
Best rebounding team in the MAC is Buffalo. You can be good on that first shot defense, but you shoot yourself in the foot if you don't finish the defensive possession with a rebound.
McAdams had it, and it was knocked away by Massenberg. And finally, Robotham picks it up. Buffalo wanted a foul on a push. Robotham has it erased by Perkins. Bearden got that ball in a yo-yo. So smooth with the handle.
He reminds me a lot of Rajon Rondo because he's not a shooter. I mean, you can go under ball screens with him. I mean, he's not going to kill you like that, but he's so good off the bounce. Got the ball on a string, almost like a yo-yo.
Johnson, a flat-footed block for the big man. Johnson wants it. They elect not to double. Kick out pass. Open 3. And rebound to Massenberg.
It's a good look. I mean, that's the kind of look that Akron has thrived on this season.
Well, the Zips are just 7 of 24 from behind the arc. Open 3 for Buffalo. Perkins. Another good-looking freshman. Hey, the recruiting that was done as McAdams answers on the other end. But the recruiting that was done by Bobby Hurley before he moved on to Arizona State really set up Nate Oates in great position.
Sure did. And they got hungry. They did a lot with junior college players.
Out of bounds to Akron. Zips trying to make a run under 10 minutes to play. 52-44 our score. This one, can Buffalo go back-to-back in the MAC? They lead at 52-44. There you see Donyell Marshall, who was a tremendous player at UConn back in the mid-90s, now on the staff. His family still lives in the Cleveland area, so it's kind of a homecoming for him at this tournament. Once hit 12 threes in a game. He's on the staff because he just loves to coach. And they've also got Julius Hodge, somebody I know you're very familiar with, Chris, on the staff as well. But it's amazing what Nate Oates was able to accumulate. Once Bobby Hurley left, he gets the job and put together a fine staff in a hurry.
He did, a staff that in those noontime games could take anybody on. Oh, Donyell, I'm a little worried. Donyell looked a little warm there. Sweat off his brow, playing for a championship here. And Julius Hodge, of course, down in Tobacco Road. Know Julius very well.
Just had to throw it up. My goodness, Connor. That was just a heave, but did it count?
They might want to, yeah, they're going to take a look. It was close.
He did not have time to set up the shot. This is a true catch and fling.
Massenberg looked like he traveled there, but that, to me, that looked late. No? It's tough to tell.
See the shot clock in the lower right-hand corner of your screen at .10. Yeah, that's late.
No good.
You know what made that a little bit tricky? I did not see the backboard light up. See the backboard light up, but it is a shot clock violation. Confirmation.
Heck of a shot, though.
It is a heck of a shot. That's a horse-type shot. And it would have been a real dagger of sorts. Talk about a deflating moment if that one counts. Now you're down 11. Instead, it's an 8-point game. Plenty of time. And again, as we mentioned, Akron at any moment can hit a flurry of threes on you, get back in a game. They've done that a number of times in the latter part of the season. 3-ball, Kretzer, yes.
Just one of those screen-to-screener actions where you get the shooter coming up top, and the defender was late. Kretzer stepped in.
And a wild shot somehow falls for Jaron Skeet, the senior.
Johnny Skeet, he's had an up and down year, but a guy who's hit some big-time shots in his career. The only guy on his team who's been here for 4 years in this conference.
Akron just living and dying by the three-point shot. Skeet bleeding clock up top. Now going to make a move with 10 to shoot. Probes the right side. Kick out pass, open three on the way. And Johnson tears away the rebound. Here comes Jackson. 3-ball from McAdams. Yes.
The entire Buffalo bench was shouting shooter because McAdams just sort of slow played the secondary break, snuck into that 45-degree angle. That's too much space and time for Reggie McAdams.
A 242nd career three-pointer for McAdams. An air ball the other way. Full throttle is Jackson. 3-on-3. Oh, look at that kick. McAdams again. Got it. 1-point game and a timeout.
Reggie McAdams struggled in that first half. But these last two possessions, you don't get a body on him early, he will fire away. Man, Reggie McAdams.
Tomorrow on ABC, King James and the East leading Cavs take on CP3, DeAndre Jordan and the Clippers at 3:30 Eastern Time from Staples. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown, presented by Straight Talk Wireless at 3. And both games are streaming live on Watch ESPN and the ESPN app. LeBron, pretty popular in these parts if you haven't figured that out. I think I saw about 3 billboards, several signs inside this arena. Pretty much owns this town. I gotta tell you, this is my first trip to Cleveland, Chris, and we're near the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the football stadium, the baseball stadium. Beautiful part of town here in Cleveland, Ohio.
It certainly is.
He's done a great job hosting this MAC tournament since 2000. We might have a tremendous finish for you here. Akron has made some big comebacks in the past in this tournament. We talked about their spurt ability with the ability to hit the three. You see already they've trailed by 12 in the quarterfinals, and we're down 14 in the second half here. And as we look up at the scoreboard, it's just a 1-point game.
You can live by the three, die by the three. They have lived, thrived really up until this point. We'll see what happens here.
Akron has not led this game tonight. Johnson draws the double. The refeed. Johnson for the lead. Got it!
I mean, that's an advanced post move. It's the counter, the up and under.
Bearden thought he got fouled, didn't get the whistle. 3 on the way for Kretzer. Now Bearden, full throttle. I mean, he has got some spice in his game, does he not?
He may be one of the quickest guys, too, in this league from end to end. But the change of direction without having to change pace is remarkable. And they had a layup. I mean, that's actually a saving play by Robotham to lay the foul on, because Bearden, after the cross, really had a layup.
And it's only the 4th team foul on Akron, so a really smart foul. Slicing and dicing his way to the bucket was Cotter, but he can't finish. Robotham threw that one away. Quick hands by Hamilton. Under 6 minutes to play. Winner goes to the big dance. Loser. The season all but over, unless it's Akron, of course. They would go to the NIT by virtue of winning the regular season championship.
You know, McAdams there on Bearden just had to keep backing up, and you ultimately give up too much real estate. He finds himself right at the rim.
Johnson, belly to belly with Perkins. Moving in, can't finish, and it will remain Akron basketball. Johnson pleading for a foul.
Buffalo has tried everything with him down there. They've played him one-on-one. They've stunted at him from the strong side. They've tried to shrink the floor from the weak side. They've tried it all.
And a great defensive play there by Hamilton. Poked it away and then threw it off Johnson out of bounds.
That's 2 possessions in a row, Mike. Blake Hamilton, great anticipation. Steals a possession for his team.
Back and forth we go with Buffalo up by a point as we reach the 5-minute mark. Hamilton wants to take his man and then threw it away. Gotta go to Johnson at some point, don't you?
I would think to slow it down, though, sometimes they go in this false motion where they share it a little bit and then they go to him. Here's Jackson, though.
No touch for Johnson. A tough 3 for Jackson.
Akron forcing Buffalo to play in the half court offensively, though. When Buffalo bogs down, they do tend to get one-on-one.
3 rims out, tapped around, and finally Quan Cheatham boards it for the Zips. Under 4 minutes remaining. Cheatham threw it away. Thought he had Johnson. And there on the run out is Bearden.
That's the killer of the live ball turnover against Buffalo. Because again, they can bog down in the half court offensively, but if you allow them to get out in the open floor with their speed and athleticism, they can be dynamic.
Foul is on Smart. Akron will have it, down by 3.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by VisitMyrtleBeach.com. Go visit MyrtleBeach.com to plan your vacation today. And Acura, precision crafted performance.
Find out who's going dancing from the MAC in just a few minutes as we take a look at our tournament challenge resume, brought to you by Allstate. The MAC has had some good runs. Kent State, those Antonio Gates team, including the one in 2002. That was the team led by Stan Heath. They took them all the way to the Elite Eight. Ohio 2 years ago made it to the Sweet 16. This actually, from an RPI standpoint, is the best season the MAC has ever had. Conference RPI ranked strongly at number 10. Johnson only 2 points in the second half, and he missed that one inside the paint.
And Buffalo's done a nice job. I mean, they went into halftime. Nate Oates made adjustments. You know, they're sort of in between. They're like, sometimes they're doubling, sometimes they're not. But I think it's confused Johnson at times in this second half.
Hamilton, offensive foul before that shot. McAdams drew it. This is where you need your seniors to step up. You got McAdams and Kretzer on the floor.
Well, that's the key. If you're Keith Dambrot, you're in the MAC championship, you're in a dogfight, you're going to go down with your seniors. It also helps that those two guys can score in bunches quickly with the way that they shoot it.
Akron searching for their 4th MAC title in 8 years, but they're going to have to rally from down 3 with under 3 minutes to go. Jackson on a crossover 3, drops it.
That was delicious.
The 11 points for Jackson, and we're tied. Curling, driving, and a missed shot. Rebound by Kretzer. Buffalo wanted the foul. Johnson isolated on Perkins. See if they give it to him back. Robotham. Kretzer with 8 to shoot. Hand off to Jackson. He's going to launch it with 5 on the shot clock. From Lake Erie, buries it. Bearden trying to respond. No. And the rebound tracked down by Hamilton. Hamilton on a 3. Yes! Tied up again.
Wow! We've got fireworks here in Cleveland. Wow, Antono Jackson on the delicious cross into the pole.
All tied up with 1:36 to go. Mike Morgan, Chris Spatola, and Chris, it's raining threes in Cleveland.
Look at this. They say the percentage goes down when you put it on the floor or when you shoot it from deep. How about those two? And then the answer from Buffalo, Blake Hamilton on the other end, ties it up. Both teams fighting to advance and dance, Mike Morgan.
Each team with 1 timeout remaining. Under 90 seconds to go. Johnson. Isolated again, kills a dribble. Gonna have to do something with it. And pinball action, tie up, arrow goes to Buffalo.
Possession to Buffalo.
A costly turnover with 1:12 remaining. Something to keep in mind. Here we are, almost 19 minutes into the second half. Neither team in the bonus. Akron with 14 fouls, Buffalo with just 2.
A much slower tempo in this second half. Part of the reason that two teams that score almost 80 a game were in the 60s. This game has slowed to a crawl.
And an offensive foul on Bearden.
What a play by Antono Jackson, the sophomore. And that angle's tough. You might say, oh, it's a block. He's moving his feet. I think it's a good call. Legal guarding position. And that off arm from Bearden came out.
Under a minute remaining. MAC championship and a trip to the big dance on the line. Johnson, he's been quiet. Johnson rolls off the rim. Buffalo corrals it. 12-second differential, game clock to shot clock. And a timeout called by Nate Oates. And the Buffalo Bulls don't go anywhere. 29 ticks left. We're still tied at 61. There's only a few more automatic bids up for grabs as a crazy Champ Week presented by Dick's Sporting Goods caps off on ESPN tomorrow with 2 more championship games at 1 Eastern. It's the SEC championship game, Kentucky and Texas A&M doing battle there, and then at 3:15 the AAC championship game, both streaming live on Watch ESPN. And the ESPN app, Mike Morgan alongside former Army standout Chris Spatola. This is what we love about the month of March. Buffalo and Akron, the MAC, a one-bid league. And right now it's going to come down to the final 29.1 seconds.
Well, Buffalo's going to put it in Bearden's hands and allow him to go to work and create. Now, something to remember, Mike, Akron does have 2 fouls to give. So as Bearden starts to go, you may see Akron lay on a foul to stop the momentum and force Buffalo to take it out of bounds again.
Ball comes in to Hamilton, and he'll hand it off to Bearden, who is hounded by Jackson. And a reach-in foul, but as you wisely mentioned, Chris, they've got a couple to give.
See, and I don't like fouling him there. Like, he'll just handle it out there. You want to foul him when he gets his momentum going to the basket. He didn't do anything there. You just kind of fouled him to foul him.
And I'll tell you what that does do. Now, Buffalo can play for the final shot.
Exactly.
Absolutely no reason not to bleed some clock and fire off the final shot in regulation. Bearden holding with 15. Jackson retreats. Under 10 seconds to go. Bearden. Kick out. They go to the right wing. Hamilton on a three. Got it! Remaining, and Buffalo strikes again from downtown.
Blake Hamilton has come up with so many kinds of plays in this second half. You see him on the block down there, and on the penetration, the reversal. Cheatham just gets lost. All a shooter needs is space and time, and that's what Hamilton got. Look at that, steps in confidently. What a shot by Blake Hamilton.
They're making sure how much time was remaining as the ball goes through the net. It looks like it'll be at least 2 seconds. Right now it's on 1.8. We're talking about a couple of fractions here. Neither team has a timeout remaining. This is where I wish, with all the rule changes we had this year in college basketball, we'd go to what the women's game went to, which is if you did have a timeout here, you could advance it. Of course, it's a moot point without a timeout, but I can't help but think of that in this situation.
I don't agree with you.
You don't like that,
I
really?
don't want to get into that conversation here. I don't agree with you.
Let's argue about that in the NIT, shall we?
That's valuable real estate. You know, anybody arguing that a timeout should advance the ball, that's valuable real estate. You should have to earn that, especially in this case.
Right.
You know, Buffalo put Akron in a position where they got to take the ball out of bounds underneath and create a shot with 2 seconds left. I am not in favor of that, but that's a conversation for another day. Now,
where's Grant Hill and Christian Laettner when you need them?
And Buffalo, nobody on the inbounder, so they have nobody on Reggie McAdams underneath. So he will get a clean look at this toss.
2 seconds left. And it's caught, and the Buffalo Bulls go back to back. Blake Hamilton, a junior college transfer, hits the game-winning three, and only fitting that he'd come up with a big defensive play as well. Buffalo, with a new coach, new players, new era, same result as a year ago. The Bulls will go back to the big dance. Another look at the shot by Hamilton with a hand in his face from Cheatham. Knocks it down. This was not a very good three-point shooting team all year long, but something about the Quicken Loan Center where Buffalo has been draining threes throughout this tournament. That one was the 10th of the night for the Bulls, and Buffalo pulls it off 64-61, your final score. What an incredible finish and a well-played game. Two well-coached teams. Nate Oates in his first year with Buffalo. Keith Dambrot, who's done a tremendous job in his 12 years with Akron. But once again, the Zips will fall short. And Chris Spatola is standing by with the head coach of the Buffalo Bulls, Nate Oates.
Coach, we know all the stuff that went on in the offseason. You take over, you walk into a little bit of a landmine when it was first there. It ends here. Obviously, you're going to the tournament, but it ends in the MAC season. You guys are going to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, unbelievable. I mean, who would have thought it back in August after we lost Moss, and then even when we had the 3-game skid when Bearden was out. Just a lot of credit to these guys. I mean, some leadership. Jaren's been unbelievable as a leader. You know, hasn't necessarily put up the best numbers, but he's kept that locker room at a high level. Willie and Blake and Monte, I just can't say enough about. Perkins did an unbelievable job on Johnson tonight. You know, we got freshmen. CJ stepped up huge. We got newcomers and freshmen stepping up in big ways for the program. It just, you know, we got a little bit lucky with the recruiting, I think, in the offseason. It helped a little bit. We got some high-quality kids.
All right, Coach, good luck.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Mike.
Tremendous job by the Buffalo Bulls. First time in the MAC in 14 years that a team has gone back-to-back, taking home the crown and heading to the NCAA tournament. Once again, it's been our pleasure to give you Champ Week coverage here on ESPN. For Chris Spatola, this is Mike Morgan saying so long from Cleveland, where Buffalo defeats Akron 64-61. Good night from Cleveland. Now let's go back to the studio.